Dalek Ben, report. The podcast must be recorded.
Affirmative.
The microphones are ready. Initiate backup recording.
I obey.
I should have realized. He's into musical theatre, huh?
Welcome to About Time, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Stephen, and I've been a Doctor Who fan since 2005.
And I'm Ben, and I've never seen the show before.
Now we're watching and discussing every episode of the revived series, and quite frankly, it's about time. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
How's you doing?
Hey, it's Daleks in Manhattan. How are you doing?
I'm alright.
Yeah?
I'm plodding on. How is Stephen? How is Stephen? How is Stephen? How is Stephen? How is Stephen?
Beautiful. Yes, I'm okay. Oh, we went to see Barbie, the new Barbie movie.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
So, if you haven't seen it yet,
And wish to see it.
and you care about spoilers, skip forward to the following timestamp. 7 minutes. What did you think?
After reflection, I'd rather have gone and seen Oppenheimer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it was good. It was good. I just think, for me, about halfway through, it lost my interest.
I do know what you mean. It did feel quite long.
Yeah. I thought the beginning was amazing.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was smart. I thought it was well done. And would have much rather it been nothing to do with the human world. Because it could have been really cool to have like, oh my God, Mattel's done a new Barbie. And she's the new popular girl.
Yeah.
And like the old stereotypical Barbie is getting phased out.
I guess you could do that and you could still make the points that it was trying to make.
Yeah. I just felt like it lost its charm as soon as she went into the real world.
So I quite liked seeing her in the real world, but I did feel that like Will Ferrell's character and all of the mob at Mattel, they were acting quite cartoonishly. And I felt like it would have been better if everyone in the real world had been much more naturalistic. A bit more like the Enchanted vibe.
Yeah.
You know, where the contrast between her cartoon world and yeah.
But the thing is though, that I don't know what slapstick would you call it?
Yeah.
That's Will Ferrell's bread
Yeah,
and
but they
butter.
didn't have to cast him.
No, they didn't, but they wanted big names
Yeah.
in it. And
Yeah.
like a colleague was telling me, they asked me what I did the weekend, so I told them, and they said to me that Barbie spent $1 million on marketing alone.
Yeah, you can tell that the huge amount of everything they've done.
Yeah, Margot Robbie was everywhere. She is still everywhere.
Yeah.
And it beat Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer looks good. It's just a very depressing subject matter.
I mean, I know I shouldn't shy away from things just because of that, but I probably wouldn't have enjoyed watching it in the cinema because it is quite heavy. I think it's safe to say I enjoyed it more than you.
Yes.
I think Greta Gerwig is a genius and she's going to go down in history. She's the big thing at the moment.
Yeah.
And I do think it was trying to do a lot, maybe too much for one film.
Yes.
Because I did find that maybe the message was a bit confusing at times because I don't know. I think overall, I just think it was great that a mainstream movie that was going to attract a lot of the general public is making those kind of points about misogyny and patriarchy because to people like you and me, we're millennials, we're youngish, we're quite aware of a lot of stuff. You take it for granted and not everyone is tuned in to that sort of stuff. So I think making the points in a very mainstream movie and in such an entertaining way is a great thing.
Yeah. And I applaud it for that. I will be honest, I just felt like it was convoluted. It was
convoluted.
It was okay. I enjoyed it. The ending pissed me right off. Like, I really didn't like the ending.
Why not?
Barbie becoming a real human. Yeah.
For me, that makes perfect sense because the idea of Barbie is a sort of immutable, perfect idea, and it's a perfect ideal of women's standards that a real woman can never meet. And Barbie didn't want to be perfect. She wanted to be real in the end. She wanted to be imperfect and embrace that.
Yeah.
Because if you're perfect, you can't ever change, and you don't get the full experience of the world.
Yeah, I can understand that. I just didn't like that idea, if I can be honest.
You know, like in terms of the structure of the story, it did feel a bit like there were many different endings or many different climaxes. Like we weren't quite sure, and I could have done without all that Ken dancing stuff when they were fighting.
Anywho,
Did you notice do you know what a Wilhelm scream is? So it's this it's a stock sound effect of a scream that's been used in films for decades and decades. And nowadays it's just a joke, like directors just put it in like as an Easter egg to see if people notice it. And it was in there, you know, when someone got their nipples tweaked in that fight scene, it was like, I can't do it, but it's a very distinct scream, and I noticed it.
Oh, good for you.
So yeah, what would you give Barbie out of 5 then?
3.75.
Oh, okay. I'd give it a 4, I think. It's funny, when you see something at the cinema, you ride the highs of it a bit, I think.
Because of the experience.
And I came out of it thinking, oh, fantastic. Like, oh, I'm just going to keep talking, never mind the plane. Sorry if you can hear a plane. Yeah, I came out thinking, oh, fantastic. Really, really good. I probably would have, if you'd asked me coming out of it, I would have said at least 4.5. But yeah, I will nudge it down to a 4, which is still really good.
Yeah.
It was nice to see Rhea Perlman.
Yeah. Shrinky dinky.
Yeah, she does look tiny, doesn't she?
Yeah. Anywho, this is not a Barbie podcast.
This is not a Barbie pod.
And we've been recording for 17 minutes now.
Okay. How much of that will get cut? I don't know. But yes, what kind of podcast is this?
It's a Doctor Who podcast.
It's a Doctor Who
It's
podcast.
a Doctor Who podcast.
We're here to talk about Daleks in Manhattan.
Oh my god, I'm bored of the Daleks already.
Aww. Okay, I will be honest, this isn't their best outing.
Helen Rayner is a really boring writer.
Aww.
Her dialogue seems a bit stilted.
Is that what you think?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about this, because Helen Rayner, up until this point, I think she's been a script editor. And so this is the first time she's written an episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it is worth pointing out that she is the first female writer in the new Doctor Who era, which it's absolutely ridiculous that it takes until halfway through series 3 to have a writer who's not male.
Halfway through.
Well, a third of the way through. You know what I mean? And like, even if you look at the whole of the Russell T Davies era, she is the only female writer, and she only writes this and one other story. Like, it's obviously just illustrative of the fact that the industry is so male dominated, particularly at this time, but still now. So, you know, that's unfortunate. And because I remember the time this aired, I was on the message boards, and a lot of fans didn't enjoy this episode. And you know what people are like on the internet. They saw, an episode I didn't really enjoy, and they saw first female writer, and they said, women clearly can't write Doctor Who. And they were saying all sorts of horrible things about Helen Rayner. And apparently she was in tears on the phone to Russell T Davies.
Well, okay.
Like, fair enough if you don't like the episode, but there's no need to be misogynistic.
Yeah, there's no
about
need to
it.
be misogynistic. But also, you gave a first-time writer a two-parter.
Yeah.
That seems a bit not right. I feel like this definitely... You could always tell a Doctor Who two-parter because the first episode is fucking slow. Nothing really happens.
Nothing happens? Quite a lot happened.
They go down a little lane, and they go down a little lane, and she screams and she cries, and the pigmen and the...
Okay. So, you know what I should have said right at the beginning?
What?
Say something nice, since this is one you haven't enjoyed very much by the sounds of it.
Oh, okay.
I know what you're going to say.
What?
Tallulah.
Oh, yeah, Tallulah's got a lot of gumption. Love it.
You like Tallulah. 3 L's and an H.
I love that.
Yeah, she is good. So, this 1930s New York vibe, it's very Bugsy Malone, which I know you're not a fan of.
Yeah.
But when I was doing youth theatre when I was a kid, Bugsy Malone was the first show I ever did.
Yes.
So I've got a soft spot for it. And there's literally, I'm pretty sure Tallulah was named after the character Tallulah from Bugsy Malone, who was played by Jodie Foster in the film. Because she's a showgirl called Tallulah. But yeah, Miranda Raisin, who plays her in this, is hilarious. You got yourself a forward-thinking guy with that hot potato in the sharp suit. And then she's like, oh, he's into musical theatre, huh? Hashtag gay.
Why do you sound like
Matilda's mum?
Yes.
Yeah.
The speedball salesman.
They are not co-ops, they are ace powerboat salesmen. I could quote every line that she says in that movie. Don't get me started.
Yeah.
You chose books, I chose looks. Yeah, don't get me started. So yes, Tallulah is great. Tell me what you liked about her. The gumptions,
the willingness to save the person she loves is a really nice trait.
Yes.
I just think she's, like, strong. Because I think back then, like, you had to have strength.
Yeah.
Because they were going through a very hard time.
Yeah. It's the depression, sweetie. Your heart might break, but the show goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is a good character, I think. She's a very colourful character.
Saying she's gonna...
Oh, she's going to die, is she?
Yeah.
She's going to be exterminated.
Yeah. Low intelligence. Hate that bit.
Why?
Just seems a bit sad.
I like that bit when they scan that man and they're like, low intelligence. And he's like, you calling me stupid? It's like,
Basically,
yes.
yes.
And also when Laszlo says he got called low intelligence, and Tulu's like, you're the smartest guy I ever dated.
Yeah.
I wonder what that says about the rest of them.
Aww.
So I've got 2 candidates for Hottie of the Week.
Yes.
I'm sure you can guess them.
Andrew Garfield.
Yes, Frank and Laszlo.
And Laszlo.
Yeah.
Laszlo.
Yeah.
And I like Solomon. I thought he's
Oh,
very
Solomon.
handsome.
Yeah.
Very, very handsome. Very distinguished.
Yes. Hugh Quashie, I think his name is. He's been in Coronation Street for years and years.
Yeah. I thought he was really handsome and like really distinguished.
But I'm sorry, for me, it's got to be Andrew Garfield. Don't you just think he's so pretty? Lovely eyes.
He's okay. He's not my type.
Okay. You were saying to me in the episode that you thought he could have been a good doctor.
He could have been a very good doctor, actually.
Yeah.
I think he has the right energy.
He does, yeah.
It's very Tennant energy for me.
Yeah.
Like the vibe I get off him. But very good actor.
Yeah.
And obviously the reason he's a good actor, he's a good actor and he's now in
star, yeah.
big Hollywood films that are raking in millions.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't actually think this is a bad episode. I think it gets a lot of criticism. When I say episode, I guess I'm talking about the story as a whole, which you've obviously only seen half of. I think it's better than people give it credit for. I think it's fun. And I don't mind Helen Rayner's writing. The only thing I have a slight issue with is some of her Dalek dialogue is doesn't quite feel right. Like there's that bit where Dalek Sec says to Mr. Diagorus, he's trying to shut him up and he says, cease talking. And it's like, I don't think a Dalek would say that. He might just say cease, but talking.
Cease communication.
Yes, exactly. But talking just sounds a bit like a mundane word for a Dalek.
They're around humans.
I guess.
Anywho, that leads me very nicely onto the piece of shit that is Diggly Laglieff.
Mr. Diagorus. Do you mean, when you say piece of shit, you mean him, or do you mean what he becomes at the end?
Oh, we haven't got onto that bit yet.
We'll come on to that. Okay. Are you talking about him as a character
Yes.
first? Okay.
I hate smarmy characters that just do everything to save their own hide.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you piece of shit.
But that's not a criticism of the episode, because that's obviously what his character is meant to be.
Yes, but I just wanted to give him a good slap.
Yeah, that's good then.
He wasn't bad looking either.
He's okay. He's handsome-ish.
We have different taste in men.
Yeah. He wasn't very handsome at the end, though, when he had all his tentacles and that one eye.
Looks like a low-budget alien. Oh my god, almost looks like do you know Mars Attacks? Hacker Mars? Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks. I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it reminds me of them, like the gooey brains.
Okay.
The doctor didn't tell us what that booger was.
Oh, yeah.
The green radioactive
He just said it was originated from Skaro, somehow. I mean, that physical thing didn't originate from Skaro, but the genetic makeup did. I think you're just supposed to infer that it's like part of their experimentation. It's like a discarded thing.
Daleks must walk. Daleks, I'm sorry to tell you this. You're knobs.
What?
They're knobs.
Why?
So they're in a metal shell, yeah?
That protects them.
That has a death ray.
Yeah.
They've now got out of the death ray chamber and have no weapons on them at all.
Yeah.
Unless they have super brains that have telekinesis. I said a word during this episode and your mouth went,
Oh, yeah.
Dalekian plastic, I said.
Yeah, you were very close to saying Dalekanium, which they did say later in the episode. I don't know if you missed that.
I missed that bit.
Yeah. But so tell me, what do you don't think it's a good idea for the Daleks to merge with humans?
No.
No.
No. Because if you merge with humans, you have to hope and pray to God that that human does not fight you. Because let's face it, you are now 50-50.
Yeah.
You're no longer... Like, look what Rose's touch did.
Oh, yeah.
This is the worst thing they could have done, because...
That Dalek hated itself.
Yes.
For being contaminated.
And now it's thinking it's surviving, but it's actually going to start feeling, because humans are known for their strong emotions, and strong emotions like love, compassion, empathy, sometimes can overwin hate.
Yes.
And hate as an emotion is very strong if you let it brew, but it can be diluted.
Yeah.
Does one of them hop into the black thing?
No.
So now it's like, oh, it's free. I'm dinged up. Let me go in this one.
No.
Oh, it's like hermit crabs. They just like hop.
Yeah, I do like how there's like disagreement between the Daleks. And like Daleks, because remember the cult of Skaro were created to think outside the box.
Yes.
But they obviously think Dalek sect's gone too far.
Well, they're literally thinking outside the box now.
Outside the shell, yeah.
Like, I think I do agree. I would agree with them. I would say, like, well, you're now infecting yourself with everything you hate.
Yeah. It does go against their core belief.
Like, it would make sense to boil down a human and make another type of Dalek.
Yeah. But actually, do you not think Dalek sect's got a point that their constant obsession with purity has driven them nearly to extinction? So if they want to survive, maybe they do need to adapt.
Yeah,
and
but
change their approach slightly.
But like, do they really need to fuse with humans?
No, but they're using what they've got, because they're quite... The emergency temporal shift, I think, was random. I don't think they chose New York in the 1930s. So they're just using what they're luckily got, you know.
Yeah. Every time they say Dalek, I always think of garlics. Does everyone else do that? Does this Doctor Who like bring any new aliens that become iconic?
Yes.
Well, I know maybe the Ood become a bit iconic.
The Ood and the Weeping Angels.
Oh, I haven't seen them yet. I do think the whole idea is great. Like, obviously, like, coming from someone who hasn't watched Doctor Who,
yeah,
you knew about them.
Yeah, because people talk about them.
Yeah,
but don't let's not talk about it now, because a few episodes time we might bring them up. So, what do you think about the pig slaves?
Snooze.
I know they're not the strongest part of this episode in any way.
No, like, it just feels like, okay, what mask can we get a lot of? Pigs. Poundland have got loads of pig masks going on sale for 50p.
Is that what you think Doctor Who does? They just go down to Poundland?
Yes! And they gave it to their costume shop and they're like, make these look expensive. And then they fail.
No, that's not how it works.
No, they don't fail.
They don't look bad, the pig slaves.
They don't.
It's just the concept, I think, is a bit weird.
It just reminds me of that pig that fell in the spaceship.
Yes, the same. I think it's the same sound effect for their voices.
Yeah, I like Laszlo.
Yeah, he's fine. But no, I think
being a beastie.
I feel like the Daleks in the classic series have a bit of a history of using sort of, grunts like as slaves, lesser species.
Where did they get the pig from? Where did they get the pigs from?
A farm?
In the middle of New York?
I don't know.
At least they'd have to go upstate New York.
I don't know. By the way, yet again, the Doctor is stretching out this whole taking Martha home.
Yeah.
Because remember, initially he said one trip. Then he said, we could stretch the definition, one trip in the past, one trip in the future. And then this one, they didn't put any explanation at the beginning. They only made a brief mention if he said, I think our detour just got longer. I think there was a deleted scene, if I remember the DVD box set correctly, at the beginning where they actually decide, let's take a detour, but they cut it. But, at this point, the Doctor should just admit that he wants a companion.
Oh, yeah. The thing that I don't understand, like, if the Doctor didn't plan the detour, like, the Daleks would have just overtaken the planet. It's just very coincidence that he's managed to get there. Yeah,
but it could have been another Doctor at any time could have landed there. Like, the amount of times the Doctor's travelled around.
Oh, I see. So it could have been
if he hadn't done
Doctor 10 years time.
Matt Smith might have done it, or Shooty Catwell might have landed there and sorted it out,
Yeah.
That's what I think. Or the other way of looking at it is the TARDIS is sentient and can see the whole of time. Maybe the TARDIS nudges the Doctor towards where he needs to
Trouble.
go. Yeah.
Did you like that line where the Doctor said, they keep surviving and I lose everything?
Yeah.
Excuse me, you are not lost everything. There's a person out there that you could repopulate your Earth with.
Who?
The man the face of whatever his name is.
You don't know anything.
I thought that jar was made, it was full of water.
No, like smoke.
But the thing is, though, what planet does he come from? Where does he come from? Does he just float in space like a asteroid?
I don't know what
Why
to
is
say.
he just a face? How do they reproduce?
There's a lot of good questions there. If you could create an origin story for him, what would it be?
If I could create an origin story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where do you think he came from?
I feel like the face of Bo they are like beyond this universe. They originated from the universe before our universe.
Okay. So you think he's one of a species that are all like that?
Yes, and I think they are all they're all like guardians of, I hate to say it,
the galaxy.
The galaxy.
Okay.
Or guardians of the universe. And they are there to shepherd and guide and watch.
But where are the others then?
They're dead.
Why is he the last one left?
Because
he's died now as well, but why was he the last one?
Because maybe along the lines, like, people have hunted them for money and bounties.
Okay.
Because that happens in the universe.
Yeah.
Like, rare things get hunted. Like, look at rhinos and elephants. Like, one for its horn and one for its tusk. I'm like, excuse me, just let the fucking rhino have its horn. And it's not a horn, it's made out of hair. But
yeah, it's still a horn.
Yes, but thing is, though, just let it have. It's not going to heal anything. It's made out of fucking hair.
Yeah.
And the tusks, let them have the tusks.
Yeah.
Like, how would you like it if an elephant came up and ripped your teeth out? You wouldn't like it very much, would you? So stop it.
No, it's not me. I'm not doing it.
I know. It annoys me.
Yeah.
I just get really angry when you see people, like, just go all the way to the safari and, like, you see them just sitting next to this beautiful animal that they've just hunted.
Oh, God, yes. It's disgusting.
Anyway, that's a long story.
Anyway, yeah. I just think there's a lot of interesting tidbits about the face of Bo. Like, he always calls the Doctor old friend.
Oh my God.
What?
Maybe they are a part of the time vortex.
Right.
And the face of Bo is inside. Maybe it's inside the TARDIS.
Okay.
The energy. Maybe they're connected to the time vortex somehow. And, like, they are guardians of the time vortex. And there are more face of Bo's, but, like, what does Bo mean?
Well, you'll never know. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't.
B-O-E?
B-O-E, yeah.
Should I Google it?
Oh, no. Definitely don't do that.
Why?
Definitely don't do that.
Why?
Just don't.
It's a name. I'm allowed to Google it.
Don't Google the face of Bo, please.
No, I'm just going to Google Bo.
Yeah, that'll probably still bring up the face of Bo. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a random name.
Oh. Maybe they come from a planet called Bo, and it was the leader of its people called the Bonians, and the Face of Bo had to watch its people die. Maybe they tried to help the Time Lords in the Time War, and that's how they both lost. Maybe the way the Doctor got out is the Face of Bo helped him. Maybe the Face of Bo says the Doctor said, like, look, you either leave or you die with your people. You know the Doctor. Does he ever go to the outskirts of the time lock and look at his planet?
No, I don't think that's possible.
Why?
Because I don't think you can see into it. I think you just can't access it at all.
I don't understand how it locks itself.
No, it's hard to explain. There isn't really an explanation. It's just to say that, you know, the Time War is inaccessible.
Do you think there's going to be a time when the Doctor can go back and fix time and save his people? Do you think that's going to be how the end of the series? Is that there's going to be this massive climax, and then Rose comes back, Donna and Billy Bob and this Martha and Dr. M, should I call her, all come back and...
I don't know how I would feel about that.
I think Doctor Who's... I think it's... As much as people love it, I do think it needs to come to an end.
No.
At some point.
That's the whole beautiful thing about it, is that it never has to come to an end. Even if it takes another, 20-year break and someone resurrects it in the future, because of the changing cast and the sort of infinite possible stories you can tell with it, I think the TARDIS will go on forever.
Yeah.
So back to the episode, by the way. I thought the depiction of Hooverville was well done.
Yes. I'll be honest, I didn't know that was a thing.
You didn't know?
No.
I was going to ask if you knew, because the only reason I knew it actually is because, again, I talk about youth theatre. One of the early productions I was in was Annie.
Oh, yeah.
And in the stage version of that, there's a whole scene in Hooverville where she's run away from the orphanage and she ends up in Central Park in Hooverville.
Yeah.
And there's a whole song about the inhabitants of Hooverville are railing against Herbert Hoover, the president.
Yeah.
I thought it was well done. You can kind of tell it's not really Central Park, but
yeah,
you know.
But that's what Doctor Who does best.
Yeah.
Fudges it.
Fudge.
We have no budget to go and take you to the Statue of Liberty.
Got no budget, so we've got to fudge it.
Yeah. That is the title of the Doctor Who saga.
Can we talk about the campus moment?
That the Doctor offers Frankie a kiss.
That wasn't what I was thinking. Although that is a nice moment. Because Frank actually looks like he'd be quite taken with the idea.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I volunteer.
That's trippy.
Yeah. No, I was thinking of the musical number.
Was not needed.
Oh, I love it. You have to. If you're doing 1930s showgirl Tallulah, you have to have that.
You have to you put a spell on me, baby. No. You put a bevel in me, baby.
It's the Murray Gold original.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll stick to non-lyrical music.
To be fair, that's something people do say. People do say his lyrics aren't the best.
It's the same lyric over and over and over again.
You lured me in with your cold grey eyes, your simple smile and your bewitching lies.
Oh,
one and
Lord.
one and one is three. My bad, bad angel, you put the devil in me.
Okay.
It's very catchy. You sing till the cows come home.
Yes, but mine are Ben Originals, not some crap that was off the telly.
Sacrilege.
No, it wasn't very good, Stephen. I could have done without it.
No, I love it.
Okay, you love it, I hate it. It's Marmite. I hate Marmite.
So this is how sad I am. When I was doing GCSE music, we used to have to perform for our class every so often. We went round in a cycle. And you know where this is going.
Oh, dear Lord.
I did a Doctor Who medley on the piano, including My Angel Put the Devil in Me, which I sang along to it while I was playing. And I had Martha's theme in there as well.
Do you sing it you put the Bible on my baby? That I've made it better, look.
Okay.
You put the devil in me, baby, baby.
As a theatre person, it makes my blood boil when Martha goes onto the stage. Like, cardinal sin of, like, interrupting a performance and going on the stage. Like, go around. Go behind.
She's a trainee doctor, Stephen, not a freaking theatre person. She doesn't know there's a go around.
Yeah, but then,
and
like,
some theatres don't have that.
Hiding behind the people, the backing dancers, and then when she falls over and that woman's like, "You're on my tail! Get off my tail!"
And they all scream because the pig man's there, and it's Laszlo.
Yeah.
Lassie, lo.
I wish the song had been longer.
I don't. I wish it was
it'd
not
gone
there.
On. We had someone on our Discord. I met just before we watched the episode. I said, "Oh, we're watching this," and someone called Nat. Hello, Nat.
Hello, Nat.
Asked whose accent we thought was the worst in this episode.
Oh, where do I start?
Because, no, to be fair, some of the actors are American and some of them are English, trying to do American accents, like New York accents.
Tallulah is English.
She is. But hers is good. It's very stereotypical.
And it's very pop my eardrum so I don't have to hear it anymore.
Oh, no, I like her. No, the worst ones for me are like the workmen, like when he was telling them the work's got to be finished tonight. And they were all like, "Wow, we're flat out up here." Like, my wife says it's like a spire reaching the heaven, like all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I say that. I'm terrible at that accent. I can do some accents, but
I could tell.
the New York's, yeah, it's a tricky one.
I'll do it for you.
Go on then.
My wife tells me it's like the raising up to the heavens.
Flawless.
I can't do accents. We have discovered this. You have to have an ear for it, and I do not have that ear. You put the devil in me, baby, baby. That's so much better, look.
Okay.
The baby, like, makes it so
I
much...
think it's too modern. It's not 1930s.
You could put, like, the devil in me, cha-cha-cha.
That is hilarious. If anyone listens to Help I Sexted My Boss, William Hanson always says that any song can be improved by adding cha-cha-cha at the end.
Yeah.
He just did that.
Okay, this is a message for William Hanson.
Oh my God, here we go.
I will always clink.
No clinking, it's common.
I will always clink.
Anyway, so we ended on the cliffhanger of
The squiggly diggly coming out of the
Dalek Sec, who now speaks with a New York accent.
Oh,
Could you hear that?
No.
So it's still the Diagoras actor now playing Dalek Sec in human form.
He'd like, yo, the Dalek.
Pretty much, yeah. He was like, "I am a human Dalek."
But the devil in me, baby.
That's just what you do when you know what to say.
Yes.
Anything else you'd like to say about this episode?
I have a feeling that the next episode's going to be good. Because...
That's normally the pattern for you, isn't it, with two-parters? So, shall we put it on our lists?
Yes. I want to reassure Helen Rayner.
Yes.
This may not be the best episode that Doctor Who has ever brought out.
Mm.
But it's certainly not the worst.
Oh, certainly not.
And so, like, I know you're probably over it by now, but...
Oh, yeah, it was a long time. Oh, actually, to be fair, we don't want to offer her too much sympathy because...
she's TERF.
I think I've heard that recently. She's in the TERF crowd. So, let's put it on the list.
Put it on the list.
Tell me if you need me to scroll down.
That's fine.
You can see the green ones are Series 3, so how does it rank compared to those, first of all?
Scroll down.
Is it worse than the Shakespeare Code?
Yes.
Okay.
It's getting hard to rank them now.
Because I know you didn't really enjoy Impossible Planet, Satan Pit. Where does it sit in relation to those? Is it definitely below those?
Oh, yeah. Satan Pit was the thing in the pit.
Mm.
Maybe this should just go underneath Shakespeare's Code then.
You think so?
Yeah.
So you think you enjoyed this more than
Satan's Pit?
Satan Pit?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. This is what Stephen does. He guides me to give it a higher ranking.
No, it's just because I don't think you remember all the episodes. So anyway, so you're putting it just under Shakespeare Code, which puts it at number 18 for you.
Yeah. All Series 3 is above the 20, is in the top 20.
Well, that's good. For me, it's a shame. I'm now looking at where I put the Shakespeare Code and I'm regretting putting it so low. Because actually, it's not that bad. But I also have to remind myself that there's a big difference between my list and your list, which is the ones that are lower down on your list, you absolutely despised. Whereas the ones that are lower down on my list, I just didn't like as much as others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not like for like.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it between Aliens of London and New Earth, which puts it at number 26 for me. I hate putting episodes low because I actually really like this episode. I really enjoy it, but there's just others that I enjoy more.
That's life, Stephen.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like I'm being rude to the episode.
No.
But I like it, but yeah.
It's common consensus that it's a crap episode.
But that's...
The thing is, though, you wouldn't let me put it that low.
That's the other thing. I don't want people to see that and think, oh, he agrees that it's a bad episode, because I don't think it's a bad episode. I just think there are others that are better.
It's not as strong as others.
Yeah.
It's a classic example of this could have been a one-parter.
You say that about every two-parter.
It could have been.
Except The Empty Child.
Yeah, The Empty Child was good.
So I think that's us done then for this episode. I hope you enjoyed listening and look forward to hearing us talk about the next part, which fingers crossed Ben likes better. So remember, you can email us, you can tweet us, you can Instagram us. Oh, I say tweet, it's being rebranded, isn't it, to X, but let's not go there. All the links are in the show notes as usual on our link tree. Until next time, stay fantastic.
Stay fantastic.
Let's do it in a New York accent. Hey, until next time, stay fantastic.
Hey, until next time, stay fantastic.
Bye.